Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to At America. My name is Sadila. I am one of the e-guides here in At America, and thank you all for coming here. We welcome our audiences here joining us with me and online. We hope that all of you are doing well. For those of you who are new here, At America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. So before we begin our agenda in this morning, let us hear an opening remarks from Dr. Lauren Clark, our senior manager. To Ibu Lauren, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Selamat pagi semuanya. And welcome to day 2 of the AmCham Career Fair at America. We're so glad you're here. On behalf of At America, I want to thank the member companies and representatives who have so generously offered their time and their expertise for this event. And also the AmCham staff who has worked tirelessly to help us put this fair together. Thank you. And most of all, the participants who are here to learn some tips and tricks, some strategies for advancing their career and finding out all the options. So thank you to all of you. As many of you know, and Sadila just mentioned, Ad America is the American Cultural Center for the U.S. Embassy in Jakarta. It's a unique space, as you can tell. We have some very ambitious goals. To foster collaboration between the U.S. and Indonesia, particularly among young people, to promote a positive perception of the U.S. in Indonesia and highlight our shared values, to explore critical issues facing both of our countries, to provide expertise, to inform our viewers, and to build skills among young people to advance your education and career. So, on that note, we believe that the partnership with Ad America, between Ad America and AmCham, is an important collaboration that can help strengthen the workforce and advance the prosperity of Indonesia by preparing future leaders. On that note, the participants at this fair are ambitious, bright, and hungry to learn from the company representatives. You are the future leaders. We believe that we hope that this event will help bring you together and help advance your mutual goals and success. So this morning, we're going to hear from some human resources professionals who will help guide you in launching your career and becoming successful. But first, we're going to hear a special video message from a man who needs no introduction. A successful entrepreneur and businessman. He is now the leader of the Education Ministry in Indonesia, the Education, Culture, Research, and Technology Ministry, Nadim Makarim. So thank you and enjoy the day.
Mr. Lynn Newman, Managing Director of the American Chamber of Commerce in Indonesia, company representatives, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me to this very important event. This is important due to the fact that it gives a valuable opportunity for us, stakeholders from education and business sectors, to meet and share our perspectives on one of the most pressing issues of today, the future of work. The challenges of the 21st century are too complex for one sector, one discipline, or one approach to solve alone. My standpoint as the Minister of Education has always been to bring as many diverse perspectives together as possible, open up as many collaborations as possible until we find a solution that goes beyond normal. I'm happy to inform you today that we've launched a new platform to facilitate cross-sectoral collaboration of higher education and industries, Ecosystem Kedaereka. This is the development of our platform, Kedaereka, a digital platform that has been supporting and creating a platform to matchmake collaborative research projects between universities and private companies and also state-owned enterprises. We have so far received 6,000 proposals on various fields of research and provided more than 800 million USD under the matching fund scheme. From this collaboration, our students enjoyed valuable opportunities to conduct research with richer perspectives that involve discussions with people from the world of academia. Nothing is more important than developing the ability to work together with many people from different backgrounds to prepare our students for the future of work. Our successful attempt to bring together these perspectives from higher education with industry is monumental in the history of our country. It has also proven to be one of the most successful incentive programs to bring in the private sector into our academic higher education institutions. Yet we believe that collaboration should go beyond territorial and cultural borders. That is why our attempt to unbundle higher education involves international collaboration between education institutions. Under the Emancipated Learning Policy, thousands of Indonesian students participated in our Indonesian International Student Mobility Awards, where several world-class campuses in the US have joined as host universities including Boston University, Michigan State University, Arizona State University, University of Pennsylvania, Penn State University, University of California, and University of Waterloo. Indonesian students participating in these programs are able to build cross-cultural understanding with their fellow students from other countries. In our attempt to prepare our students to be future ready, global citizenship education opens the gateway to a unified collaboration in addressing all kinds of global issues. All the problems of tomorrow will need to be solved as an entire society at whole, not just by single nation states. As I am happy to attend this event and share with you our initiatives in preparing Indonesian students to strive amidst the challenges of the century and the future of work, I'm excited to exchange ideas and collaborate with you beyond the boundaries of sectors and fields, beyond the boundaries of countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to Ibu Loren and Pak Nadim for the wonderful opening remarks. And next, we will have an interactive discussion because we have two amazing speakers for you guys today. So let me pass the floor to our moderator, Pak Steven Igor Waroka, partner at SSEK Legal Consultants. To Pak Steven, the stage is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Happy weekend. It's the weekend. It's a Saturday morning, and you guys choose to be here. So you have so many options. You could be riding your bikes, you could be running, you could be doing some sports, but you're here. So thank you so much for your enthusiasm, because today we have two very distinguished speakers who will share practical knowledge about the career trends and developments on career paths in Indonesia. So I will first introduce myself. My name is Steven Waroka. I'm a partner at SSEK Legal Consultants. I'm a lawyer, but today I'm your moderator, not lawyer. I will introduce our two distinguished speakers. First, we have Pak Davidon Anugraha Susanto. He is the Senior Talent Acquisition Manager of PT HM Sampurna Tbk. He received his education at Universitas Gadjah Mada with a degree in psychology in 2005. He is currently a talent acquisition senior manager at PT HM Sampurna Tbk with more than 16 years of experience in the field of HR. He started his career at PT Honda Astra Motors as a human resources officer and joined PT HM Sampurna in 2008 as HR analyst business partner. In his 14 years of working at Sampurna, he has experienced 9 functions rotation covering various HR functions such as organizational development, talent review, HR shared service, business partner, and recruitment. So, Pak Davidon Anugraha Susanto, welcome, and please come up to the stage. Give a round of applause for Pak Davidon. Please choose your seat. Which one is more cuan, Pak? Thank you. And next, we have Bapak M. Zainal Abidin, Head of Human Resources and General Affairs of Kimberly-Clark Softex. Bapak Abidin, or usually goes by the name of Pak Bidin, is the head of HR and General Affairs of Kimberly-Clark Softex. He has been with the company since July 2016 and possesses 15 years of working experience as HR professional with various specialties in HR business partnering, industrial and employee relations, compensation and benefits, talent acquisition and employer branding, organization design and people development. He was also entrusted to manage the sustainability team where he successfully led a used baby diaper recycling program. That's really interesting. So without further ado, Pak Abidin, can you please come up to the stage and please give a round of applause for Pak Abidin? Okay. That is my seat. Thank you. It's okay. Okay, gentlemen, how are you today?
Great. Amazing. Glad
You
to
look
be
really
here.
fresh. Are you ready to share some knowledge to our hungry audience?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so we will have a Q&A session later. And of course, for you who are joining online, you also have a chance to ask some questions and we'll try to answer them. We don't have too much time today, but we will try to make the best out of it. So without further ado, Pak Davidon, I will go to you first. So we hear a lot about the career ladder concept versus the career playground. Which one do you believe in more? And if you can share, especially in relation to the career playground, what are the self-learning and transferable skills that come with the career playground concept? Thank you, Pat.
Thank you very much. So basically, this is I read about this in the documentation published by Microsoft. Firstly, about the career playgrounds. Basically, the difference is when you're talking about career ladders, you're talking about vertical movement. You join the entry level position, you hone your skills, you hone your knowledge there, and you move up in the ladder. And when you're talking about career playground, it's literally a playground where you can have different options of playing tools to play with, to learn with, and to explore with. It's all up to your preference. It's all up to your willingness to learn and how you develop yourself. I don't. The way I see it, even in the playground, it's okay to if you want to come to the playground and play with the swing set from beginning to end, which is like the career ladder path. But what I'm saying is nowadays, you as the talents, as the candidates, as the employees, you have a lot more diverse options to explore with, to play with, and the condition is being supported with the what has been happening in the past 2 3 years. Basically, during the pandemic, people are staying at home, people are working from online. We got exposed to a lot of flexibility in terms of we don't have to come to the office, we don't have to deal with the traffic. We have more time to spare, although most of the time it's still also with meetings. However, it's there's a research from LinkedIn in the US that during the pandemic, almost 60% people are exploring new careers. More people are exploring new skill set for them. That's why during this past 2 years, this has changed a lot of the situation. And I think in terms of viewing ourselves, in terms of developing ourselves, the career trends, we need to explore the different options, and also we have unlimited resources, right? That's where the self-learning came, because in the end of the day, when you want to develop yourself, you cannot rely on the training materials, the path that is provided by the companies only, but you now have a lot of different accesses to YouTube sessions, YouTube, this kind of sessions, the free ones, the paid ones. You can choose to learn from your bed. You can choose to learn from the office. You can choose to learn from the training site. And also, you get more access to a lot of special and skilled professionals that are willing to share their stories through the platforms. I mean, you have a lot of exposure compared to what we have like 5 or 10 years ago. So it's up to us up to the individual to actually equip ourselves to indulge in the self-training and make sure that we equip and we increase our employability. And the last part of that one is usually then a lot of people ask me, then what should I focus on? So basically, from the company side, from the employer side, what we're looking for mostly in our talents are basically transferable skills. So it's not specifically on the technical side what you can do. Yes, that will be considered. However, we're also looking for potential to grow further. We're looking for skills that are transferable regardless of the position. For instance, collaboration, problem-solving skills, analytical thinking. Those are the kind of situations, the kind of skills that will be implemented whatever position you're in. So those are the kind of, even though you're exploring different things, you need to increase also the transferable skills, because those skills will be used throughout your career until even higher up. Where we're talking about collaboration from day one, from entry-level position until C-level position, they need to collaborate. When we're talking about problem solving, yes, it's being used throughout the organization. So you can focus on the transferable skills and indulge yourself in the self-training while exploring different opportunities that are out there in the market, I think.
Thank you, Pat. So what is the trend going forward? Is it more going to be career playground or career ladder? What do you see happening in the market these days?
Okay. When I joined, I don't want to sound old, but when I joined the company, the trend is people are looking for a company they can stay with 5 to 10 years, and their CV are um, lateral. I mean, they started from the recruitment position, they stay in that position for a lot of years, and most of the changes happening are from recruitment to employer branding to HR services. What nowadays, even from the fresh graduates, I see different exposures of organization experience. I see different experience of they're involved in this project, they're involved in this organization, they are being part of the documentation parties, they're involved in the budgeting party. So they got themselves exposed to a lot of different skill sets and experience. And I think that is because again, nowadays the source for us to learn is very easy to get, right? So they have the hunger, they have the willingness to explore a lot of different things. And I think um, in the end of the day, a lot of the new hires, a lot of the new talents that we see, um, it's not that they are unloyal to a certain position, but their hunger to learn new things are bigger than their not their loyalty, but it's bigger than, and that's what drives them more. That's why it's not that they're not loyal, but they want to expose themselves to a lot of different features, different new skills, different skill sets in order to equip themselves. And I think we as a company, we need to accommodate that. We need to somehow provide a safe environment for them to explore all these possibilities while still maintaining how to while still retaining them in the company side. Yeah.
Thank you, Pa. I think that's a very good point because a lot of times employers think about loyalty. Oh, he or she is leaving the company. He or she is not loyal. It's not really the problem because from the employer side, we need to do something as well. I
Yeah.
think that's the main point, right, Pa? I have a bit of a question. Is age just a number, in your opinion, in terms of recruitment and the trends these days?
Yes. Basically, age is just a number, but from age we can also see a lot of different things. Basically, when I see age, when I see seniority, when I see experience, that will intrigue me that will provide me with a lot of more data points to explore during the interviews, right? But in the end of the day, we need to move on from the bias that a more senior people are more capable of doing things, or the junior one will have no capabilities to be developed further. So we need to remind ourselves that there's still that bias that is happening still in Indonesia right now. So what I always did is just when I review a CV, when I see the age, the seniority, the experience, I will use it as a data point to discuss, to dig further, to probe further during the interviews. So I can get a lot more of different angles of on what they are doing and what their experience are, and so on and so forth.
Tak kenal maka tak sayang.
Yes.
You have to have at least a basic data as a
Betul.
starting point. Thank
Betul.
you, Pa. So, how does your company provide learning and provide various opportunities?
Okay, like I mentioned, we try to encourage our employees to be more exposed in terms of self-learning. So we have we don't leave the conventional learning ways entirely. We still have some sessions that are critical and fundamentals to the business. However, we also provide a platform where employee can have access to a lot of different learning materials that has been curated from our learning team, and they can create even their own learning journey or learning path. If, for say, they want to specifically improve or develop themselves in this area, collaboration, then they will have access to a lot of collaboration materials, and they can pick and choose their own materials to study. Some of it are 5 minutes long, some of it are bite-sized, some of it are quite longer and require them to take some courses. On top of that, we also provide what we call a skill for future, which basically, if you cannot find the materials you want to learn in our platform, it's okay to propose to us outside learning, outside trainings, outside courses even that we can reimburse. So some of our employees are not right now Harvard graduates or Ivy League graduates because of the online trainings that they did using the Skill for a Future program. Yeah, so that's one way we can expose them. We can provide them with a lot of different opportunities to learn, to see and to improve themselves in a way that they want to explore. Not not dictated by their position right now, the role they're in, or their seniority. So that's one thing that we're trying to provide, the learning. And the second one is the opportunities. Like I mentioned, learning is not only about what we did and in theoretical way, but we also provide opportunities for them to explore the different opportunities. We have the project-based organization, meaning they can be involved in different projects that are not really related with what they're doing right now. For instance, I'm in HR. I can be involved in a project in commercial team about how to increase the volume or the sales. We have the crowdsourcing of the project every year, and people from different functions can apply to different projects that are available. That's one of the approach. The second one is we also have what we call the open sourcing. Basically, we're blessed to have a multinational company. We're working under PMI, Philip Morris International, and basically all the vacant positions that are open in any of the affiliates needs to be posted internally as well. So I can have the luxury of seeing what Argentina is currently needing right now in terms of vacancy, and I can apply there if I have the correct requirements. So I can, if I want to explore myself like as a brand team, for instance, and I see that there's an opening in London team, I can easily apply to them. Yeah, and again, everything will go through with the recruitment process, with the regular recruitment process. However, the options are given back to the employee as well. So it's not, we still have our talent reviews, we still have our performance review, we still decide on some of the development opportunities for the employees. However, we also provide them with options, with the power to choose their own exploration way.
So I think that's the very definition of a career playground.
Yes, definitely.
That's amazing. So, but again, even though we're talking about a playground, playground still has rules, right? Definitely, there's no like free roaming, free playing. There's nothing that's too free, right? That shouldn't be the case. What do you think about that? Where, when, and where does the company then step in and say, okay, playground is playground, but now you got to follow the rules? Can you share a bit about that?
Yeah. So basically, in the end of the day, it all came down to the performance OGS and KPIs that you expect the employee to deliver, right? So they even we realized that the open sourcing tools or the project-based organization tools can be used as a media to run away from their current situation, for instance, right? But again, yes, we try to make it as flexible as possible, but we still have some guidelines that we need to follow. For instance, you need to be in the position for 12 months before you can apply, or you need to have a certain performance rating to be able to apply, and so on and so forth. However, in terms of in terms of learning, we provide opportunity to everyone. We provide a lot more flexibility there. In the end of the day, it all comes down to the objective. Whether when you achieve your objective and you contribute, when you deliver to the company, then we will provide as much as possible. We will also, it's our responsibility as a company as well to provide you with the opportunity as well. However, in the end of the day, if you cannot deliver, then there will always be consequences, right? That we have restrictions in terms of applying to the position and so on and so forth.
So it goes both ways.
Yes, definitely.
The company is responsible for you, but the employee, him or herself, needs to be responsible for their development as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Davidon. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. That was very insightful. And now let me turn to Pak Bidin. Pak Bidin, can you just tell us a bit about the baby diaper recycling program, which really sounds really interesting to me, especially for us who have kids. I think it's really interesting if you can share a bit about what happened and what was your role in that program.
Okay, it started in 2020 when I was assigned by my president director at that time. Before I going to explain about the used baby diaper, maybe some of you know that Softec has been acquired by the global company named Kimberly Clark in October 2020. So October, right? So this is our 2 year celebration of integration.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Give a round of applause.
Yeah, we are still new, but yeah, we are having ambitious target to be the #1 personal care in Indonesia. As you might know that Softec is a generic, right? When you buy a sanitary napkins, maybe your mom told for you to go to the grocery to buy Softec, and then you just put pembalut but not Softec brand, right? Maybe it can be other here because we are pioneering, having start our operation in 1976. And then over decade, we expand our product category, not only sanitary napkins, but also baby care. So we produce iconic brand named Sweetie and Happy Nappy. But the thing turns in 2019, we found out the news in East Java that Kalibrantas River has been polluted by uh, baby diaper, is baby diaper. There is a myth in East Java because I came from Malang, Jawa Timur, East Java. There is a myth when a mother have a baby, instead of you throw the used baby diaper, maybe um, in the rubbish or in the I mean what we call it in yeah interest, a lot of people in East Java like to throw into a river because they believe that it cannot harm your baby. It cannot bring rash in baby skin. So that meat brings a lot of polluted. So as a big company in Indonesia, we realized that we want to contribute to the community to reduce the pollutant in the river. And then we started having a facility use baby diaper. We started in Tangerang, by the way. And then after that, we collaborate with one of the NGO named Guna Olah Limbah. Guna Olah Limbah is the NGO that concerned in the recycling, not only baby diaper, but also other, other waste. Yeah, it can be a community waste, it can be industrial waste, but we collaborate with the NGO named Guna Olah Limbah, and then we create a machine named a hydrothermal. So we collect all the used baby diaper in Karawang as a pilot project, and then we bring into our facility, and then we proceed the hydrothermal like a machine presto. Any of you know the machine presto, right? It's been cooked under the high temperature and then the pressure, and then the result of this machine, it can be separated into two products. One is fiber because most of our material is pulp, by the way, and then the second is plastic. For the rubber, we coordinate with Balai Besar Kertas, Balai Besar Kertas, because we turn the fiber into a meaningful product, which is brick. Yeah, and then the plastic we process further into the pyrolysis machine, and then it can become a kerosene. So up to now, 2 years, we've been able to collect like 200 tonnage of used baby diaper. And to expand our facility, we also collaborate with Duitin. Duitin is a startup company that focuses in collecting the waste. And then, yeah, by having that all the collaboration, we actually would like to create the circular economy. It's not only collecting the waste, but also maybe we can create like the economic empowering the community that help us in processing the facility.
Thank you, Pabidin.
Yeah.
That is amazing. For such a movement to happen, you must have needed a lot of great minds to think
Mm.
about the program from beginning
Mm.
to end and involving a lot of departments.
Yeah.
So, how does your company hire these great minds, Pat? How is your company's hiring process?
Okay. The hiring process in KC Softech actually is very simple. We have 3 stages. If you would like to know, I can give one tip in every stages. The first is start with the CV screening. As you may know, maybe you came into our booth that we offer a flyer, and then you can do the barcode, the scan of barcode, and then you can apply into the position that you are would like or interested. Actually, we also strengthen our social media. Our social media presence is not only the LinkedIn but also Instagram. We are utilizing those to post every updated job vacancy. So it start with the civic screening. My team actually do, I think, with one position open, sometimes we receive 100 or 1,000 applicants. So can you imagine? I only have 4 talent acquisition member, yeah, but sometimes with the 5,200 employees in cases of tech, with maybe 10 functional we have in cases of tech, and then with the integration, sometimes it creates a lot of vacancy right now. So the team must to consider and how to make the screening more easier. So the tip is to make your CV stand out, you would like to ensure it's not only just clear and concise, but also please put relevant experience related to the position that you are applied for. So it will make the CV or my team can spot you even more easily. And then if you pass the CV screening, it goes to the, we call it psychological test, psychology. We have built our own resource by having like, this is a kind of platform, online platform. So basically my team send the username and password for the applicant to do the online test at home, not coming into our offices. So the tip is just to be true to yourself. Do not pretend maybe you want to have the right answer, because this is a multiple choice, yeah. So um, just be true to yourself. If it is reflected to your profile, just cross the choice that you reflected to yourself. And then when you pass into the psychological test, actually this is a kind of a formal thing, yeah. All the candidates that may be invited to the psychological test will have the first round of HR interview. So in SR interview, we would rather to look into the cultural location fit, and then sometimes we want to see your profile to check whether your profile meet with what you have been done in the psychological test. So when you pass, and then you go to the user interview. This is the interesting part. Just be prepared, be confident. If you are a fresh graduate, remember you must do online, doing searching online, knowing our company purpose, company value, and then what is our latest update. Sometimes our user just want to know about your business acumen. Are you interested to apply with us? So what do you understand, and what are you interested to apply with Casey Softec? Something like that. So just be prepared, be yourself, and be confident. So be punctual, because nowadays we are using the online Teams or maybe Zoom. So we are not inviting the applicant to come to the office. Just make sure your connection is good, yeah. And then yeah, just enjoy the process. After that, when everything is done, the last stage is the offering. Yeah.
Thank you, Pat. So I think there's a big difference between not being honest and selling yourself, right? Because at one point you have to sell yourself, you have to sell your skills if you want to get accepted to FIA.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on when to draw the line? I think that should be a good information for everyone here.
Yeah. Sometimes me and my talent acquisition team do like uh, drilling down into the detail to find the truth of yourself. So specifically, we would like to know what you did, how you did the achievement, and how maybe other stakeholder perceive with you the result. So this kind of typical question, we have a more structured question to just knowing whether the applicant is exaggerate or not. Yeah, so we just want to check. Usually we are using methodology called STAR. So understand the situation, understand what is your task or your role, and then understand what is the accountability that you already achieved, and then the result. The result meaning there is no good or bad question or right or wrong answer, because we just want to know if you are failed maybe in achieving some project or assignment, and that we would like to know you need to learn from the mistake. What is the key learning or lesson learned that you fail into the project or the assignment. And then when you do some achievement, this is a good achievement. So we would like to understand what happened with your achievement. Do you share to others? Do you share your skill and then for the good of the maybe organization or the company? So there is a story, right? So based on all the information that we collected, sometimes we do a calibration to make some categorization, which is the top 10 candidate to be hired. Because at the end of the day, we believe that we hire the talent that we don't want to lose, and then we will help them to grow within the company. Because if we, I mean, the candidate is not successful, this is the most expensive of the company, because we spend a lot of energy, we spend a lot of resources, but Sometimes if we get the candidate but fail, I mean, there is something to be improved in the talent acquisition team.
Thank you, Pa. Is being a team player still a key feature, or are you still considering those who are more introvert, maybe, or more individualistic? How do you see that?
Sometimes we found the candidate lone wolf. I mean, they're very they're very independent, right? And then not showing a good collaboration, good coordination. But the thing is, sometimes we cannot judge that personality. Sometimes we need to understand what is the organization need of the position. Sometimes if you are talking about the maybe specialist position in the factory, we have like quality assurance or quality technician that require those person to be, I mean, specifically having attention into the detail. Not, I mean, we hire QA that maybe this is kind of yellow profile that always talking a lot and then not, because QA sometimes it is a confidential department. All the new product development sometimes is being checked by them. So when we hire someone that maybe cannot keep the confidential thing, what happened? Yeah, so we cannot judge by the profile that we look in the first session of the interview. What we do think that we just we don't say that we are not only assessing the experience, but also we do see the potentiality that the candidate can grow within the company.
Thank you, Pa Bidin. Last question before we go to the Q&A session. What is the role of higher education in talent development these days?
Yep, good question. In cases of tech, because this is 2 year of integration, and what I love with the Kimberly Clark is they provide equal opportunity. Yeah, we are not looking into the higher education or maybe experience or maybe ages. So the development is depend on us. It's depend on you. The success of development in the company is depend on you. You are the one that responsible to your development. However, for those who are having a higher education, maybe bring some beneficial to them. For the example, they are having a good business acumen. They are having maybe a problem solving, very good theoretical. But the thing is, if you are not flexible and adapt to the rapidly business changing, yeah, and then yeah, you will not win the game, right? So the key of success that I believe, and I always share to the team, especially my team, if you want to be a success in the organization, remember two V, value and visibility. You need to create value. What mean value? I mean that you are not working alone, right? Your work sometimes depend into the other organization or other department. Just be helpful, resourceful, and then having a good collaboration among others, because sometimes we can share any different idea, we embrace a different perspective that can enrich the decision. Yeah, that's a value. And then the second, visibility. If you're already doing amazing job, don't forget to tell to your boss or leader. Yeah, it's not because you want to get the acknowledgement, but this is something that you can share your good result to the others. So remember to V, value and visibility.
Thank you, Pat. Communication is still a very, very important thing.
Correct.
As you said, it's not like if you tell your boss that you've been doing something good,
Mm.
doesn't mean that you are trying to achieve something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just basically sharing. Because
Sharing.
not all the time the top management knows
Mm.
the achievements of the employees, right? So,
Yep.
okay, thank you very much, Pak Bidin.
Thank you.
So
Pak.
thank you, Pak Bidin, Pak Davidon. Now we go to the interesting part, the Q&A session. So before I go to the online questions, does anyone here have a question from the audience here in At America? You can raise your hand and one of our team members will go to you and give you the mic. Any questions? If not, maybe, yeah, I see half of a hand raised. No? Not yet? Okay, yeah, here you go. Please. Please
Can I speak
say
in
your name, please.
Bahasa or
Yeah, of course, that's fine.
Gak apa-apa lihat
Yeah.
bahasa aja. Oke. Halo semuanya, selamat siang. Para speaker juga dan juga para teman-teman semuanya yang ada di Amerika di sini. Saya Kurniawan Wicaksono, salah satu staf Human Capital di Paramount Land, Gading Serpong. Di sini saya ingin menanyakan beberapa, mungkin satu pertanyaan dulu deh, nanti kalau saya boleh dua. Itu panitia. Oke, yang pertama khususnya tadi yang dijelaskan oleh Pak Zainal Abidin tentang the key successful of employee in the organization, right? Nah, mungkin ini sudah lumrah terjadi ketika di suatu organisasi ataupun suatu company ataupun di company besar ataupun dalam tim yang skupnya kecil. Nah, jika kalau misalnya kita ini tahu value kita mungkin we have a curiosity, kita punya keingintahuan lebih tentang suatu hal baru. We have a spirit, we have also kayak apa ya, critical thinking, mungkin soft skill yang kita udah kuasai. Tapi ini di dalam satu tim kita tidak ada ataupun mereka tidak bisa mengikuti apa yang kita mau gitu, Pak. Jadi kita itu majunya lebih duluan dibanding teman-teman kita yang ada di tim seperti itu. Nah, lalu mungkin dari Pak Zainal Abidin, how to what is your strategy gitu, kayak apa sih strategi yang tepat untuk bisa give influence ke mereka tentang bahwa ayo kita maju bareng yuk. Nah, cuman kan banyak nih orang-orang yang nggak bisa ngikutin kita. Lalu apakah kita harus menurunkan grade kita untuk bisa mengikuti mereka atau kita tetap maju ke depan? Terus gitu, seperti itu. Mungkin itu sih pertanyaannya, Pak. Ya,
Terima kasih Pak Kurniawan.
Ya,
Atau Mas
baik.
Kurniawan, jangan panggil Pak dulu kali.
Mas
ya.
aja.
Mas Kurniawan. Baik, terima kasih. This is the classic question. When I was in elementary school or in high school or even in university, when I sit in front, people will start saying, "What are you doing in front? Are you trying to be the teacher's pet?" Now, this is the question, Pak. If you're in a team, in an office environment, and you have the aspiration, you have the willingness, you have the curiosity, you have the spirit to move forward. Sometimes it is true, but sometimes maybe it's just in your feeling because we don't know exactly about. But in any case, if you want to advance, and meanwhile your other team members either view you as a teacher's pet or otherwise, how do you deal with that? Maybe I start with Pak Bidin, then I want to hear from Pak Davidon as well. What do you think about it? Please, Pak Bidin.
Okay, this is based on my experience. Actually, I had the opportunity to work with Davidon because before I joined Softtech, I also joined PT HM Sampurna Tbk in 2008. And sometimes I also found myself in that situation because entire my career in HM Sampurna, I was the self contributor. Sometimes people tend to what Bidin's doing, why Bidin's try to, invite or encourage us to do a better collaboration, coordination to achieve uh, the, the collective goals, something like that. My principle is just true to your goal because everyone is having ambition, right? Goal, right? As long as we do the right thing, so just do it. That's the first one. And then the second, we can be a leader. Every one of us is a leader. Leader without a title. In your case, you are not having a team member, right? But you are having peers that feel that you maybe yourself is more advanced than the other. But as a leader, what you can do is just to inspire, just to encourage them if you want to be successful into a constructive and positive way. So let's do it together. This is not good for ourselves, but this is good for a company. And then our leader can also see our value and our contribution. I believe that all organizations having a measurement to differentiate who is the top performer, just so or meet the expectation, and then the lower one, right? If you are keep do the right thing and then stay to your goals, I think maybe your leader is not only your leader, but the other departments sometimes that you are very helpful, resourceful, giving a quick response, something at some, yeah, they can consider you someday when we have a higher position, maybe you can be nominated to be the one to be a successor to those roles. So for me, keep inspiring others, just believe in yourself and then do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Bidin. Pak Davidon, any input
has taken all my answers, so I will just try to provide with a different perspective. Pak Kurniawan mentioned as well how to get them to grow with us as well, right? So one thing that from my experience, from what I see other people do, usually why they don't want to grow or why they don't want to indulge themselves in the self improvement is because they still don't have the clear vision what is the impact will be for them. So by doing that, by showing that, we can tell them, we can always tell them this will be good for you and this will be great for you. However, it will be more efficient if you show them, because action speaks louder than words. So we can ask them to collaborate together. We can try to have them work with us and be in this situation together. If they don't want to, if they still, like I mentioned, they don't have the visibility yet or why this is good for them, then it's up to us to show them. After they have we have gathered all the evidence, we can share with them, this is the impact to the business, not only specifically to myself, the impact to the business, to my work, how I make my life easier with this, how I make the business runs faster, runs better. Then we come back to them and ask them to join again. So I think that's just a different take from what Bidin said. Show them what's in it for them. And if they still don't want to join, then maybe they have this is not what their goal are. They have different aims, or they have different subjects, which we should still appreciate. But from my experience, we can change people that way by showing the impacts, what this is good for, and how this will impact you in your daily life.
Thank you, Pak. So
Yeah.
walk the talk, ya, Pak.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Pak Bidin, Pak Davidon. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to strive, keep striving. But more importantly, you have to show. You have to be concrete. I think that applies anywhere, in a company, in an organization, in a society, everywhere. So hopefully that helps you. Thank you. Thank you. So next question. Yes, more hands. Thank you.
Saya izin bertanya menggunakan bahasa Indonesia.
Please, I will be your interpreter today.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat siang semuanya. Sebelumnya perkenalkan, saya Nada. Saya saat ini bekerja di salah satu BUMN. Saya izin bertanya terkait dengan sekarang kan banyak ya Pak terkait dengan orang yang career shifting gitu. Saya sendiri saya lulusan dari accounting. Nah kemudian saya juga bekerja under 2 tahun dan saya sempat mencoba menjadi finance dan juga menjadi trainer. Namun saya sempat juga keterima S2 di ITB, tapi saya kembali lagi untuk bekerja begitu. Dan memang karena waktu itu saya coba career shifting ke trainer, dan setelah saya keterima S2 itu saya balik lagi bekerja, itu saya nyangkut laginya ke dunia accounting gitu di BUMN ini. Nah mungkin sepertinya sekarang banyak sekali ya, apalagi generasi saya yang memang career shifting gitu, loncat-loncat gitu ibaratnya. Nah bagaimana perspektif dari Bapak selaku talent acquisition, HR dan lain sebagainya terkait dengan aplikan seperti saya, dan bagaimana tips untuk bisa ibaratnya kembali lagi untuk bisa career shifting lagi ke perusahaan tersebut atau perusahaan lainnya seperti itu. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much. So the question is about career shifting. What's your take on career shifting? Any tips and tricks? I personally wanted to be a movie director, and now I'm a lawyer. So maybe I can still be a movie director one day. But anyway, career shifting. What do you think, Pak Davidon?
Yeah, I want to shift to musician as well. So
You should score my movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can collaborate.
Yes.
Yeah, transferable skills. No, basically, it is the phenomenon that we are facing on a day-to-day basis right now. For my personal view, I will not necessarily see the career shifting or the changes of the companies. What I will see is what are your learnings and takes from there. How does the career shift or the exposure to different industry, different technology, different roles, different responsibilities enhance your capability? If you're career shifting or moving around companies just for the sake of that is the company that's currently offering me a specific role or higher salaries, and you cannot add the value into your employability, into your capabilities, into your skills, then I will see your career shifting as just your way to increase your cuan. Yeah, your increase your profit, your salary, and that is the point that will provide a negative feedback towards the candidates. However, if you change even every 6 months, you're exposed to different things, different roles, different responsibilities, but you can somehow build all of that, like I mentioned earlier, transferable skills. You can capture all the transferable skills and then you make yourself a better version of you out of those career shifts, then that will be a very valuable person for the company. So basically, it's all back to the perspective and how you see what you're trying to achieve, where you're trying to get from the career shift.
Thank you, Pak. Pak Bidin, any insights?
I think I couldn't agree more on Davidon's point of view. Yeah, I mean, if you are career shifting in the short period of time, so this is a reflection to yourself. Maybe you can ask to yourself, what is your ambition? What is your vision? What is your career aspiration? It is the way that you want to get a cumulative experience, like Vidon said. It is okay to have like transferable knowledge, yeah, into one position into the another. But sometimes, just true, this is what we did, especially in cases of tech. Our current talent acquisition sometimes will, I mean, if there is a lot of applicants and found out that we have a candidate that career shifting less than 1 year, so we keep questioning, is there any contribution to the company that they are working, or it's just to make, I mean, more cuan, yeah? Because nowadays there is a phenomenon that Gen Z actually is moving into one company into another company, especially startup, because they are not having a clear goals and vision. They are just looking for the benefit, the compensation. So maybe the prestigious position, manager, senior manager, but they still don't get the basic of knowledge into that position. So maybe if you career shifting is only to, oh, okay, I got the opportunity for taking a bachelor, a master degree. That's okay. Sometimes we still considering. But if it is like too many career shifting into a year, sometimes we don't make too risky to our company, because the question that we should ask to the candidate is, what makes you interested to apply in cases of tech, and what kind of working environment that can retain you not only 1 year, but we want you, I mean, to work in cases of tech until the retirement age. Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Bidin. So it could be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Yes,
I guess
there
that's the
is two
point.
side. Yeah.
So as long as sama Mbak bisa membuat itu sebagai sebuah kualitas di mana Mbak tuh bisa mengumpulkan banyak pengalaman dan memang itu aspirasi Mbak, berarti ya go for it, right?
Yes.
But if it's just moving and hopping from one company or one career to another, then maybe we need to rethink about it. Mungkin itu Bu ya, mudah-mudahan menjawab pertanyaannya. Terima kasih. Thank you. Next question. I saw some. Oh, please. I think I know this person.
Yeah.
Are you with AmCham?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Night speakers. It's really very insightful discussions. I learned a lot about the HR area. I just want, I think, just to follow up to what just been discussed about the career shifting. It just questions to both speakers. How long do you think that employee actually can get, you know, excel the roles in one of company? Is it only 1 years or 2 years is on your experience is enough? And the second question is about the salary negotiation. You know, like in the Eastern cultures, I believe people quite afraid to negotiate their salary, and then eventually when one of the reasons that we've seen is always sometimes when they just too shy to negotiate the salary, and when they see there is another opportunity they offer more to one, then just apply to their job. So in your case, especially for the fresh graduate, because I believe when when you're having certain years of experience, then you can have a value of proposition selling yourself. But for the fresh graduate, how do you how the you as a talent recruiter, how do you see when they have a more confidence in making salary negotiations? I guess, yeah, that's a quick question from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And these are very practical questions. Hopefully, I mean, I look forward to hearing your answers actually, because I also am in the recruitment team in my office. So I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts, maybe from Pak Bidin first.
Yeah, there are two questions. Yeah, the first about the talent development and career progression, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, luckily, Softtek been acquired by the global company named Kimberly Clark, and then Kimberly Clark has already a tools to assess, to map the potential or high potential employees. Every year we have a performance and development framework, starting with the set up objective that we agreed among employees and their team leader, and then been reviewed twice a year, mid-year and also year-end. So this kind of the tools can also assess how good the employee. We can also see how is the absolute performance. The absolute performance meaning we measure the performance from the objective that we set in the beginning of the year compare into the actual one. And then the second, a relative performance, meaning we compare some individual performance into the others or peers performance. We call it calibration. So by having this calibration, it's not only one function or department that said that we are a good talent, but this is I mean, a cumulative or collective assessment among department, among a country. So this is the thing. And then next to another tools, which we call it the talent management. The talent management try to mapping what is our critical position that we have. The critical position meaning if someone holding the position, for the example, Pak Bidin holding head of HR and GA, if Pak Bidin left the organization, does this the vacant or absent of the incumbent will ruin the business operation or not? If it is yes, this considered as critical position. Based on those list of critical positions, sometimes we develop a succession or successor to identify who is ready now, 1 to 3 years or 3 to 5 years. Based on my experience in the multi company like PTHM Sampurna and Philip Morris, I had been working for 7 years and I assumed 7 position, different position. Every year I was assigned into 7 different positions. So yeah, that's the thing that I really lucky having I mean career in multinational company because they are really focused on the development of each individual. That's the first answer. And about the salary negotiation for the fresh graduate, this is a tricky question. So maybe I would recommend you to do the online search. Yeah, there is a lot of tool that sharing this position with the minimum, midpoint, and the maximum range of, the salary. Yeah, yeah. If you are applying for the example like finance staff or accounting staff, what is the average? What is the median? Or what is the norm in the market? Yeah. So I think if you have those information and you are applying or maybe trying to target like Sampurna or maybe Kimberly Clark, Sampurna, you know that the positioning is always higher than market. But with a
Thank you,
huge
Pak Bidin.
applicants. So I think it's better it's not showing or this is my personal, yeah. This is my personal. Better you go online and search and then because as a fresh graduate, if you don't have any experience, sometimes it's better to follow the norm. I mean in the organization. If you are joining the organization and then you can deliver the performance, sometimes yeah, it is not guaranteed because this is depend on individual, yeah. Sometimes in the company there is like pay for performance. So if your performance is good or higher, and then you receive a higher increment or higher bonuses, something like that. So the key is just do your best when you join and make sure that you are successful in the probation period, which is 3 months. And then after that, collaborative is the key, communication is the key, and build a network is the key.
Thank you, Pak Bidin. Pak Davidon, any other insights?
Okay, again, he always took all my answers. So just a additional part from the you asked about the how long does it take for someone to excel in the company, right? For me, basically, I cannot answer that because everyone has their own pace for learning, and it's okay. You don't need to compare yourself with everyone else all the time, but more to that, find your own pace. So you need to know it's also will be affected by how passionate you are, how interested you are with the position, and also so on and so forth. The basic parameters or indicators that you have performed or you have excelled is that you have make an impact in your role, in your responsibilities. So whatever you do in terms of learning, try to figure out your goals is how to make an impact, whether to the small department, to those around you, to your supervisors, or to the bigger organization. That shows your learning, that shows your learning come to fruition. That shows how you implement not only theoretically known, but how to implement it in terms of day-to-day life. So create an impact. That will be your own parameter, regardless of whether it took you 6 months, whether it took you 3 years. Be comfortable with your own pace. I think that's one regarding the first question. In terms of negotiation, yes, it's always tough for fresh graduates to negotiate. There are also some positions that have been agreed or decided by the company. This is the only salary that we're going to offer. Yeah. However, it's another tips to add from what Papa Din has said is we can always try to see the specific skills and specific knowledge that we have, specific experience. Now we can get certified online. We can get online certification. We can get access to different seminars and materials from specific speakers. We find the ones that are closely related with the position. I cannot agree with Pabidin more in terms of doing your homework, understand the company, understand the position, and see how our skills actually relate to that position. Then you will have bargaining power. So if a fresh graduate come to me and I would like to negotiate salary from 5 millions to 7 millions. Why? Because my friend got 7 million. So that's a direct no for me. But when you came to me and said, I know this position is a entry level position. It's an IT position. You will be working with the specific system. I have the certification of that system. I have experience in my internship regarding to that system, and I think I can contribute more. That will be something that I will value and consider to have the sort of a negotiation. Because you know your value, you know what you have, and you know how it is relevant with the company. Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
To know your value compared to finishing graduate school
Yeah.
or even taking masters or doctorals.
Yes.
Knowing your value is probably the most challenging thing.
Definitely.
Thank you, Pat. We still have 5 minutes, so one last question. Anyone? Any? Sorry, the lighting is really okay. Go ahead.
Ya, selamat siang semuanya. Saya izin berbicara dengan bahasa,
Ya.
karena mungkin bahasa Inggris saya juga kurang bagus. Ya, saya adalah mahasiswa dari universitas yang mungkin belum ternama. Jadi pertanyaan saya itu terkait tentang internship. Banyak sekali perusahaan-perusahaan atau lembaga-lembaga yang memang melihat calon-calon internnya itu dilihat dari kampus-kampus ternama. Tadi Pak Abidin juga sudah menyebutkan tentang higher education, caranya itu harus menunjukkan soft skill-nya. Pertanyaan saya bagaimana caranya menunjukkan soft skill itu kalau misalkan di seleksi administratifnya pasti sudah tidak lolos karena kampusnya itu memang tidak ternama begitu. Saya kira seperti itu. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you so much. Terima kasih. So the question is, when you want to do an internship and you're coming from a university that maybe is not as famous as other universities, Is that like a game over from day one, or how do you even get a chance to prove yourself? Maybe from Pak Davidon.
I think Fabidin has mentioned this earlier. Make your CV stand out. Make your CV noticeable by the recruiters. Basically, in Sampurna, we don't apply that situation. In terms of the company itself, we try to regulate that we will not see based on the where he or she is coming from. We do review the GPAs. We do review the organizational experience or the specific skills that we just discussed, right? And those are the things that can make your CV stand out. Um, Again, in terms of subjectivity, in terms of the what is actually implemented in the field by the specific person, it might be different because some it's always normal to have bias. This person is coming from the same university as me. I would prefer him slightly towards better than the others. Yes, but we're still trying to. We always have a session of unconscious bias to our assessors, to our recruiters, to as a reminder for them that we still have to be objective. So universities is not one of the parameters that we use to filter our CVs. Yeah. However, it's always good. It's always beneficial to make your CV stand out.
Thank you, Pak. Pak Bidin.
Yeah, same as Davidon. We didn't consider the university. Sometimes thanks to LinkedIn and JobStreet, because they can do a filter. They can do a filter based on the requirement or the education or GPA. Yeah, we didn't do filter out the university, but we do screening about the GPA, the experience. So the organizational experience is something very critical and important because we don't want that applicant is only stand out in terms of academic field. The GPA is 4, very outstanding, but cannot balance with the behavior of the soft skill. For the example, communication, cannot collaborate, cannot be disciplined, or maybe not show the leadership attribute, something like that. So the thing is, just make your CV stand out. The tip is read job description and the requirement carefully, and then maybe you just do a personalized CV. It doesn't mean that one CV you spread a lot of the company. No, but make it personalized. Maybe you can add relevant information. For the example, internship program that you have joined, or maybe the organizational experience, or maybe you join the webinar, or maybe you have joined a network. For the example, like at America, so you just put it into your CV. That's the thing that my TA team sometimes is screening, yeah, do the screening. Yep.
Thank you, Pak. So don't be discouraged. Ya, just work on your CV. CV-nya ditambahkan dan jangan cuman dikarang-karang tentunya. You have to actually do it. You have to go through the whole process. You follow the activities, you follow the webinars, seminars, networking events, whatever. You work on your GPA. IPK-nya juga jangan sampai terus tiba-tiba jadi ngasal. Jadi tetap harus kalau bisa saya simpulkan bukan dilihat universitas mana, tapi CV-nya gimana, GPA-nya berapa, kegiatannya apa, qualities-nya apa di luar dari terlepas dari dimanapun Anda kuliah. So if I can conclude in that way, Pak. Thank you. Okay, so we have 7 seconds left, which means that we have reached 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have reached the end of our session today. Thank you very much, Pak Bidin,
Thank you
Pak
so much.
Davidon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone who is joining live and also from the social media of At America. Thank you, AmCham, sponsors. And don't forget, there are booths outside from both of your companies. So if you have more questions, if you're interested to know more, please spend some time. We're open until maybe 3 p.m. today in this event. So please make the best out of your Saturday. Have a good weekend and stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for our facilitators, Pak Abidin, Pak Davidon, and Pak Steven. Also, thank you to all of our audiences here. So next, we will have the time that we've been waiting for, of course, the career fair. And we encourage you all to explore and make networkings and get as much information as you need. We will also take pictures afterwards, so you might want to stay here for some time. And then later on, we will also have CV review and mock interviews, and it's free for you all to join. So feel free also to take pictures and tag us on our social media. So with that, we wish you all the best and happy job hunting and networking, everyone. Thank you.